Hey guys, what's going on? Jedi270 here. We're out here in my garage slash shop, if you will. I wanted to do this video for quite some time, and I was on the phone for about 2 hours out in Los Angeles County with a good friend of mine. We will call him by his username. He spells it backwards. And he told me, he said, I laugh my ass off every time you do a video when you say that guy RWSVLP. You guys know what I'm talking about. But spelled backwards, brace yourself, pussy lover. I was like, what? Really? Come on. Make it hard for the whole world. I mean, yeah, it's an acronym spelled backwards. It doesn't mean it. Well, he's married, so, but it's because of his love of cats. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's pretty cool, but I didn't tell him this, so I'm telling him now because I know he's going to see it. Come up with something, dude. Make up a gibberish name or something that I can call you by, because that's the last time I'm going to say it. You've got him, a very talented young man when it comes to building gas guns. He has an insane love for trademarks, just like I do. I mean, come on, let's face it. The whole point of Airsoft is realism. And in this country, we suffer over this trademark crap. Like Glock just wants to tap dance all over anybody who makes a gun that even remotely looks like theirs. And I'll come right out and tell you, I own Glock-ish, like the KJW 23. I had the 17 blow up on me, which he's sending me a slide, and I'd like to give a quick shout out to him. Thank you for sending me the slide. If any of you guys out there have an extra or know where I can get the hammer block, let me know, because I need one to rebuild this gun. That's what blew up. But getting off topic there, basically, you know, he and I were talking. We were talking about how over at Arnie's Airsoft in the UK, there's a lot of brush fires out there and people that hate WE. So we're going to talk about each individual company a little bit. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons. And, I'm just going to put my 2 cents out there. Like me or hate me, love me or despise me, I'm going to say what's on my mind. One of the reasons why a lot of people out there give me flack is because they consider me a whistleblower. And if I'm a whistleblower as a retailer, then so be it. Because my outlook on my business is I'm not going to sell you guys a piece of junk that's going to get sent back to me that I'm going to have to do an RMA on and have to deal with all this mess just to get a couple of bucks out of you. For me, I'm a player, you're a player. You know, I'm not the most religious man in the world, but John J. Rambo will tell you I do love my God. And my Bible tells me, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So that's how I do unto you guys. Now, I've turned off the comments for approval. And there's a reason that I've had to do this. One, it's my channel, and I'll do what I please with it. 2, I have a lot of people out there challenging me on my military service. I stand my ground on what I've done and what I haven't done. But you're not going to make comments elsewhere on the internet saying that I deleted you. Yeah, I did. It was like 2 days of banning usernames. So ridiculous. Because I'm not going to say, yeah, sure, come in my house and beat me to death with a pool cue, because that's the right thing to do. No, you come to my channel, you act accordingly, then you get to stay. And that's how it goes. Yes, I have banned a good number of people. And it's always because my subscribers do not deserve to come over to my channel, thumb through the comments, and find a bunch of nastiness and negativity. I'm not going to stand for it. I've never stood for it in my lifetime, and I'm not going to stand for it now. Especially it's my house, and you won't disrespect me in it. If you have a difference of opinion, then that's fine. But, it's just like he and I, we got started off having a discussion because we disagreed on something. But we've turned into being the best of friends. And love him to death. Do anything for him. As a matter of fact, on camera, if there's anybody out there that has for sale or trade, or basically for sale because he's not a trader, but if anybody out there has a saw, para, with trademarks, hit me up and let me know in the comment section below, because he's looking to buy one. He wants one. That being said, you've got Maximus MJG, I think it is. We'll just call him Max. Max is, oh man, Max builds some incredible guns, man. And the thing about Max is he's such a GBBR lover, and he goes by the call sign Punisher. The guy makes great videos. He's like the Spielberg of YouTube as far as I'm concerned. I love watching his videos. And the one thing that I enjoy about him the most, and the reason I call him one of my personal friends, is the simple fact that when this guy looks at something on a gas blowback, he's got it up here. When you buy a new gas blowback gun, don't even shoot it yet. Open it up, especially a GBBR. And remember that the beginning of the cycle is where it's racked back. It flies back, hits that buffer spring. There is an incredible amount of return energy coming off of that buffer tube. And when it comes through, that energy has to disperse itself somewhere. And if you're lucky, it'll disperse itself at the front of the body, and that little plug that you see in the front of a WOC will be just enough to stop and disperse that energy without it destroying something. Another good friend of mine, Booby M4H, and the Murder for Hire team out in the Bay Area of California. Love you, brother. Haven't heard from you in the last little bit. Looking forward to discussing a couple of things with you. But Booby is the king of the Dremel, man. I mean, we talked about him putting this A2 buffer system in his KWA LM4 to boost his recoil. And I told him, I said, I don't know, Booby, I don't know if it'll handle it because that buffer lock is not steel. It was aluminum. And he went out to the game and lo and behold, smashed it up. But here's the thing about Booby. Booby doesn't care. He's going to, Booby knows, he doesn't care because one, he knows how to fix the gun. Two, he knows how to mod a gun better than anybody I've ever seen. The guy took a steel tool punch, tool steel, hard as you can possibly imagine, and made a buffer lock out of it, fixed whatever else damage was caused, and now he runs fine. And he doesn't care to take one for the team and bust his gun up. If somebody out there learns from it, do unto others as you would do unto them. There are 3 makers of gas blowback M4s that you need to clearly stay away from: AGM, JG, and Well. They're garbage. They're complete garbage. And when you start putting stuff into them, then you've got to tune your internals. Guys, the gas blowback world is not rocket science. The M4 is one of the easiest guns to build and maintain. Brings me to John J. Rambo 1. John J. Rambo 1 has a love for his God that is undeniably incredible. One of the most generous people I have ever met in my lifetime. And one of the greatest success stories I've ever heard. He didn't start off life as the greatest person, and he made his mistakes. Mistakes that only he has to know about or live with. And then John found God, and he lives his life for Jesus and for God. I mean, his love for God is man, if the rest of this country had one iota of the faith that John J. Rambo 1 has for God, then we would all be happy people. And just so personable and heartfelt and compassionate. So proud to call you my friend, dude. So proud. John had an issue. He wanted to build his own M4s. And he wanted to send it to me to build it for him, or send it to Booby and have him work on it. And, dude, I'll pay you to do it. No, man. We sat down. He built his first gun, and a monster created I have, as Yoda would say. This dude is building guns like down in Miami is a satellite office of GMP. He's turning out some stellar gas blowback guns. Why? Because he subscribed to people who know. He plays with this gun every day. He plays GBBs every day. And a lot of people give him a hard time. They say that he's overzealous. Well, crap. He loves the sport. He loves his gun. Give the guy a break. Like me, the LM4 was something that he just didn't dig. But once he got out there playing with it, he kind of eased on over and warmed up to it like I did. My biggest problem with the LM4 is the fact that there's no aftermarket support, and the gun is so damn proprietary that KWA doesn't want to come down off of the cross long enough to let somebody else make parts for them. And that's just the way it is. Nobody plays in KWA sandbox. Well, that's all good and fine. But you're pretty much stuck with what you got right now as far as the LM4 goes. Customer support or customer support for part support from them And that's all good and fine as well, as long as you're going to go ahead and make that available and make these parts readily available for the player who are the end user of the gun. So let's get into something else. The indebted one, same thing, builds his own guns, customizes his guns. Guys, the thing that I told Lover about was with an airsoft gun, when I open the box, the first thing I look at, I'm like, ooh, that's nice. You know, it's like Boondock Saints. Oh, I feel like that kid Charlie in the chocolate factory. Daddy, I want Oompa Loompa. I want it now. That's how I feel when I look in a box, man. I was like, whoa, sweet. Just like anybody else. I'm the biggest damn kid you're ever going to find. But the first thing I look at when I look in there is, ooh, what am I going to do with this? You know, the possibilities. And then I'll build it. And I make it something like this DMR, right? And I'll shoot it and I'll play with it. I'm like, oh, yeah, Daddy. Like, and then the first thing I'm like, crap. Whoops, knocking beaties off. I'm like, damn. Now what am I going to work on? For me, in this shop, it's like run from here to there, here to there, here to there. John J. Rambo 1's figured it out, guys. He's buying these challenge kits. He's buying RA Tech parts. He's buying real steel stocks. He's building these guns. He's putting them on eBay. He's selling you a stellar weapon. Hit him up on his channel. Subscribe to him. Find out his username on eBay and buy a gun. Because I'm going to tell you one thing that JJR1 is not going to do. And he's not going to screw you over or take advantage of you because he doesn't treat his fellow man that way. The other night I got this message from this cat. He was talking about Angry Gun. And what it was we were talking about this silencer here on the MP7 video. You'll be able to go over there and see his comment. I left it on there. But it was like he bought the power-up kit from Angry Gun. And once he realized, this is the key word, once I realized that this is going to destroy my internals, he said, and I quote, I gutted it. I put some foam in there, just left it at that. The smartest comment I have gotten in weeks. The smartest move anybody ever made. Okay, I'm not going to knock on Angry Gun individuals as a whole. But this is a company that sells you a power-up kit for a gun, and it just involves like the buffer, or it just involves this part or that part. And they don't bother to tell you, hey dude, by the way, once you buy this thing to juice up your gun, you might want to upgrade your internals to solid steel because it's going to rip the guts out. It may not do it in 300 rounds. It may not do it in 3,000. It may not do it in 3 weeks. It may not do it in 3 months or to a year. But eventually, I guarantee you, you will not believe the amount of guns I have fixed or I have seen that have been completely gutted and ruined by Angry Gun. RA Tech makes power-up kits for your recoil. But the thing about RA Tech is, and this is what makes it so expensive, is RA Tech has enough insight and love for the airsoft world and their customers, and they want them to come back, that they give you everything you need to ensure that that weapon, once you upgrade it, is going to work flawlessly. Stick with RA Tech. Stay away from the Angry Gun crap, okay? These little weird satellite Hong Kong companies that might start with 1 or 2 people, and they come up with this great idea. Hey, these gas blowback guys, they want more recoil. They're hungry for it. We can get in their billfold. We'll just make this, and we know it'll work for a little while. And then maybe they'll be dumb enough to not realize that this is what's destroyed the gun in the first place. Then they'll buy more parts from us, fix it, and buy another Angry Gun kit and destroy that. And then they'll figure it out. But what happens when they figure it out that the Angry Gun kits would destroy their gun? Who cares? They're just one person out of a million. We got their money. The next guy's the same way. That's the kind of thinking that I'm talking about. These guns, whether it's WE, KWA, GMP, Inakatsu, Viper, Bomber, it makes no difference. These guns are designed from the rooter to the tooter to handle the amount of pressure that you have out of the box. WE gives you the opportunity to run CO2 on their stock internals. Would I do it? No. No. Because WE internals can't stand up to that CO2 after a while. It will run fine. But it's like when you guys power up with lipos. The big question is, can the gun handle it? But then you stop and say, okay, it will speed up the deterioration of my internals. Everybody knows it, but they do it anyway. You see where I'm coming from? So if you're going to upgrade this gun out of the box and you're going to put Angry Gun on it and you're going to do this and you're going to do that, and as soon as you tear that gun up, don't be the first guy who goes, oh, WE sucks. I hate WE. I'm going to Arnie's. WE is awful, god awful, don't buy it. It sucks. But they're not going to type in there, oh, by the way, it was my dumbass fault in the first place because I did something I did not know that I was supposed to do. And I ruined it, and I didn't lube it, and I didn't do this, and I didn't do that. Why? Because it embarrasses the crap out of them. It's so much easier to just say, WE sucks, I hate WE, they don't do this and they don't do that. I guarantee you, you tear your gun up with Angry Gun kits and you email Angry Gun, they are not going to email you back. Because there's plenty of horror stories out there where they just say to hell with you. You call them, they don't answer the phone. They don't have to. Eventually, he'll go away. Guys, think about it before you do it. It's like water and sand. Water and sand will get into anything. And if there is a hole to get into something, it will find a way. That energy in that gas blowback is just enough, and the internals are designed to handle the pressure out of the box. Case in point, my WE Gen 3 Scar is completely bone stock. 3 years, I've used it religiously. On my maintenance video, I fixed the little part in the back that holds the stock on. I JB welded it in place, and I JB welded my roller bearing on my hammer because I was tired of it sliding out and taking a dump and having to buy a new hammer because that little roller bearing is so damn small, you can't find it. And if you're lucky and you do, you can't find the frickin' pin. So I went ahead and took that away. Those are the only 2 bugs that I can say happened with that WE Scar. But what do I get? Jedi, you don't know what you're talking about. My friend had a Scar and the whole barrel fell off. Or this guy I know, he doesn't know it's me. This guy I know had a Scar. Total piece of shit, don't buy it. WE sucks. You guys, when you go on a forum, if you're getting into GBBRs right now and you go on a forum, just like GGI, there is good info there. You look up my boy Pussy Lover, spelled backwards, okay? Look him up. Go to his channel. If I can't tell you off the top of my head where to go to, just write down Pussy Lover backwards and type that in and subscribe to him. Do yourself a huge favor. Maximus MJ, subscribe to him. John J. Rambo 1, subscribe to him. And for God's sakes, Booby M4H, subscribe to him. I don't know everything there is to know about gas blowbacks, but I can tell you one thing. I know just as much about gas blowbacks as Frank Chu over at Airsoft GI knows about an AEG. I can build a gas blowback from the ground up that is untouchable, unbreakable. And right now I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate nylon O-rings so I can do away with silicone. Does the mass market want you to do that? No! They want you to buy another gun. They don't want you to go build some M4 that's going to last like through a nuclear blast, because then you won't buy another M4. You'll be happy with the one you got. You won't buy any parts because you'll be happy with the one you got. So they don't want you to do that. But I'm telling you it'll work. I know it'll work. I've studied that system, the M4 gas blowback system, from front to back, inside and out. Take it apart, look at this, look at that. Now, to answer a question that hits me all the time about the King Arms. When I first got the King Arms, you notice it's not here now, I was impressed by the look of it. But you have a mixture of the Magna system and the Western Arms system. Now, how these people got this gun to function with a mixture of those two systems is beyond me. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I love King Arms. This new GHK conversion kit they did, out of the box. So when you stop and you think about how these things run, and how these things operate. And I'm an M4 purist, man. I am a gas blowback purist. I was one of the most skeptical people ever on that platform. But when I shot it, pros, cons. Shoots flat trajectory, no messing with the hop up. Shoots fast, hits hard. Oh, unbelievably fast. Very gas efficient. Virtually no cooldown on the magazine. Extremely lightweight in CQB. No fatigue on the field. Easy to work on. Accepts all AEG inner barrels. Is completely convertible to your KWA sitting in your bench or in your closet. Any gun you've got with a version 2 gearbox can be turned into gas blowback. Price. That's 10 pros. I could go on all night. Cons. No free moving bolt. This stuff outweighs that. I can live with this. Another con, nylon body. Not really, because it's lightweight. So if you are going to be new to gas blowbacks, you're not really going to get the real gas blowback experience from the GHK conversion, whether it be G&G or King Arms. You're not going to get that, okay? But it's a good place to start. And what's wrong with paying that amount of money? And I'll be on the first one to tell you, when I got my GMP WOC Challenge Kit, I ordered GHK Mag. That is the biggest, nastiest, trashy piece of crap I have ever seen in my life. The shell is like sandpaper. Comment came, oh, Jedi, just sand it down with sandpaper. No, I paid $50 for it. Why should I have to sand it down? Leaked. Well, Jedi, just no, I paid $50 for it. It wouldn't drop free from the mag. Oh, once again, Jedi, sand it. No, I shouldn't have to do all that on a magazine. Just a crappy ass magazine. And I opened the box and I'm like, oh God, GHK. I didn't have a lot of hopes for it. And then when I put it together, it put a grin on my face like you would not believe. Am I ashamed to ride a pink tricycle to an airsoft game? No, not if I want to freaking get there and my snazzy H3 is broke down or my big 21-inch rims ain't working and I don't feel like my fat ass walking. I'll get on a pink tricycle and go. I mean, come on, man. What's the big deal? Oh, Jedi's on a pink. What? That answers that question right there. So you see what I'm saying? I see all these pros and very little cons to that system. And then in Airsoft International, you had the G&G Combat Machine. $140, almost $300 for the GHK King Arms. Oh, that's a lot of money, man. 10 times better than this piece of crap. Same fusion engine almost to a T, okay? Combat Machine, in my opinion. So don't light the fires and holler screaming for a monster wanting to cut Jedi's junk off, okay? I don't play that anymore. So what I'm getting at, we did this other video a few minutes ago. KWA, Mac 11. Sorry, my back's hurting. That's why you haven't seen a lot from me. Well, here lately I have. HFC. You saw my video on the HFC efficiency on the SIG 226, 101 shots. Not only that, $105. 2 magfuls of BBs, 1 gas load. 30 BBs on 1 gas load. 6 more rounds per second at 27, 21 on this one, but I'm getting the gas efficiency that I want. This one misfiring all over the place. This one not. This one, $20 to $30 more than this one. What? I mean, are you going to pay $10 more for a spoiled steak, or are you going to get one fresh cheaper? It's simple. To me, it's just a no-brainer. And this is the NS2. And all of a sudden now, through firing, the damn frame's cracking on the KWA. Do I like KWA? Well, I think I do. Jedi WE has the shittiest paint in the airsoft market. This was a piece of masking tape over top of the trades when I was doing something else. Lightly pulled, didn't rub it down on the paint, just lightly laid it up there. It sat there the whole day. I'm saying, ooh, I gotta get the tape off. pull it off, I pull off a chunk of that wonderful KWA, super high speed, low drag, best airsoft company in the world. Can't nobody tell me nothing. KWA, KWA. Gag. The paint ripped right off. My point is, don't be so quick to sell out a gun that costs $100, WE, M&P 40. Some of the best paint work they've ever done. I made the analogy before. KWA is a West Coast offense. They come out, they pass the ball, a couple of big, huge plays. There was like, it's amazing. WE comes out and runs a running game. 2 yards, 4 yards, first down. 5 yards, 6 yards, first down. One big, huge play, first down. Da-da-da-da-da. What are they doing? Eating down the clock, killing the defense, touchdown. WE has grown just like any other company. Some of their original guns were crap. This is Pyro's MEU. It's sick right now. It's a poor little sick baby gun. And we're going to put it on the operating table, and we're going to make it faster and stronger and better than it was before. We have the technology. Why? Because Jedi says so. Okay? Now, $6 million man, we're going to make this a great gun. Thank God that bitch wasn't fucking loaded, because he turned around and put this shit, looks to me cussing. He had damn gas in there. I didn't know that. Oh, damn, there was a BB too. Are you kidding me? You're trying to, oh my God, my kids, man. All right, but anyway. God. Anyway, see what I deal with? All right, now. Fail. All right, let's get back on track. We're talking about WE. WE makes a good gun, man. They just nickel and dime it as it goes up. They've grown like any other company, and they get progressively better. And it's evident right here in this XDM 40. They're WE-G17s. I got a hold of a bad one. Look, dude, partially my fault because I trusted EVIC when they said that this was TM compatible. I put a TM slide on it. Something in there wasn't right. I should have known better. I should have sat down and taken this gun apart just like I should have known better there. And look what happened. Hey, I make mistakes too. Gun blows up in my hand. Where is EVIC wrong? They didn't want to back me on it. Hell, they didn't even want to talk to me about it. They didn't want to answer my emails. They didn't want to answer my phone calls. And then when I make the video, all of a sudden, well, we're trying. No, you're not. Send me a new gun, EVIC. Do the right thing. You destroyed an over $200 slide because I listened to what you wrote. I trusted you, and you destroyed my gun. Send me a new gun. Do the right thing. For once, please. That's what I'm talking about. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Back to the HFC. $100 gun, okay? Stellar gas efficiency. And this is that new woohoo NS2. And it can't compete with a $100 gun. At some point, you got to separate name brand from common sense. That's what I'm asking you to do. WE, if you're going to buy a WE-M4 and you're going to plan on putting angry gun kits in, and then somebody told me they're going to put a real steel buffer tube in. Guess what? Or buffer. It's already got a real steel buffer in it. It has one. Everybody says, where's that PMAG, that thermal at? Pyro. I'm going to prove something to you people right here and right now. All right. This is the DMR. This is a magazine, a real steel thermal AR. That thanks to Maximus, he finally answered a question for me. Now I know how to get this done right. Okay? Check out the mag well and watch. Oh! It fits a real steel mag. Right? That means that is 1-in-1 on with the real steel. KWA? You can't even begin to get it in there. Not 1-in-1 with the real steel. Absolutely, positively not milspec. Nothing on this gun is milspec with the difference of the buffer tube is milspec. The rest of it, I can't get nothing done today right, is not milspec. Okay? There you go. There's proof on video. So everybody, please, for the love of God, Get over yourself and your KWA guns, okay? Good company, love them, own them, shoot them. It's my primary, for Christ's sake. All I'm telling you is it is not the best airsoft gun on the market. It is in no danger of ever being the best gas gun on the market. This gun cannot come close to an Inokatsu. Cannot touch a GMP SR25 pre-assembled steel. Cannot touch it. There is no CNC steel on this gun, and it is not 100% steel internals. Guys, don't tell people stuff that is wrong. Because you're going to have a new player born every day that's going to come in and say, so-and-so said this was 1-in-1. And I just spent all this money on these mags. Disappointment sets in. Because somebody told them the wrong thing. For Christ's sake, don't get a new gun, take it out of the box, and review it that second. Why? Because you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't loaded it, you haven't shot it, you haven't used it for any determinable period of time. You haven't given it enough time to screw up if it's going to. People come to YouTube to get a review and they want to know the truth. And there's so much crap out there on YouTube, it's not even funny. Am I 100% right? No, I make mistakes. You just saw me do it. I almost shot my stupid finger. Don't laugh. You're the bonehead that left it loaded.
Sorry.
So it's like, this kind of stuff happens all the time. What I'm trying to tell you is, don't hate on WE. Read into it. When you see a comment on Arnie says, well, this gun did this and da-da-da, but I was getting so many FPS. Well, a WE typically gets anywhere from 4 to 450, maybe 460, and I've seen 5 videos that show that same rifle only getting that FPS. Evidently, they've put a tight bore barrel in it. Evidently, they've done an upgrade on the buffer to get that kind of FPS. I wonder if this moron did something to damage this gun. Ta-da! Figure it out for yourself. It's not hard. It's not hard. And for Christ's sake, don't be trusting everybody on YouTube just because the dumbass has 30,000 subscribers and used to work for an airsoft store and has 500 different websites for everything from silicone oil to BBs. That doesn't mean he knows everything. I can tell you that individual is very smart when it comes to AEGs. I wouldn't even begin to think that I knew more about AEGs than he does. And you'll never hear me say that. But, you know, give the devil his due. And these guns, guys, I'm telling you, HFC, typically anywhere from $80 to a little bit over $100. And you're getting the gas efficiency that you saw in the KJW. Come on. Even the guy that turned around and I had to block him because he was a subscriber of mine, I had to kill his subscription because he's a dumb kid who sits there and starts this argument with me on YouTube about his KWA getting under 100 shots. So what? That's not the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is there is no NS2 in that HFC. It doesn't cost you $160, and you still get that kind of gas efficiency. Just because something's got PTR on it doesn't mean it's a professional training rifle. It's got PTR on there because these idiots call it that. How can you call something a PTR for professional training to mimic your original duty weapon when it doesn't even, it's not even milspec. It won't even accept a real steel mag. Because how do you know who your daddy is? Because your mama told you so. Just because they say that they're a professional training rifle, were they voted the professional training rifle of the year? Not likely. It's all marketing, guys. My point is don't knock a cheaper gun just because it doesn't say your favorite brand on it. Give it a chance. You can always turn around and sell it or return it. Or go and watch an actual review, a real review of a rifle that has been shot for over 3 months before it was reviewed. Go to Airsoft International. On every piece of kit those guys review, it tells you who reviewed it, and it tells you how long they used it to come up to their opinion. And keep in mind, it's all just a matter of opinion. But WE pistols, good God, they're definitely knocking it out of the park now. These guys have really stepped up their game. And some will say, oh, it's OEM by somebody else. It's not real. Who gives a shit? I don't care as long as it looks like it looks and does what it does. I don't care if Joe Blow over in Taiwan makes the trigger or Billy Chan over in Kumchangtao province makes the damn hammer. As long as when it's all brought together, I'm only paying $100 for a gun that functions like this and looks this good. And another thing that Lover and I sat down and talked about, WE is a gun that lends itself, 1, to the armorer, 2, tons of aftermarket parts, 3, real steel barrel nut. So you can use real steel. You don't have to get Mad Bull crap. You can get a real steel Spikes Tactical if you want to. Inakatsu, for Christ's sakes, will accept a real steel upper receiver. Put PTR on that. So that's what I'm getting at. Oh, and BBs. Let's not forget the BBs. Don't use these BBs because they'll hurt your gun. Bullshit. You would be surprised if you were a retailer. You would really be surprised when your eyes open up and you find out that there's 1 or 2 companies out there making BBs, and they sell these little sample packs to all these manufacturers to put in their gun because they don't have time to do the gun and BBs too, nor do they have the floor space or the people